Hey there, how is it going? I see you're here more test run. This time I am playing Super Breakout right here on Game Boy. I see it was near the end of the Game Boy's lifespan, more near into merging into the times of Game Boy Color. Oh, wait, it was probably released on Game Boy, but was able to play on Game Boy Color, like several games near the end of the Game Boy lifespan. Anyway, I want to see if I can pull up information about this real quick in the next few minutes before the time goes out, so I can at least talk about something more interesting than me talking about something. Alright, here we go. I'm just going to start off talking about Breakout. It was created by Atari. Its initial first release date was in arcades on May 13th in 1976. An arcade. It had up to 2 players, but it was alternating turns and fun stuff. Breakout is an arcade game developed by Atari Incorporated and introduced on May 13, 1976. It was conceptualized by Nolan Bushnell and Steve Bristow and influenced by the 1972 arcade game Pong, also by Atari. The game was ported to video game consoles and upgraded to video games such as Super Breakout. In addition, Breakout was the basis and inspiration for books, video games, film, and Apple II personal computer. Books and film. Okay. In the game, a layer of bricks lines the top third of the screen. A ball travels through the screen, bouncing off the top and side walls of the screen. When a brick is hit, the ball bounces away and the brick is destroyed. The player loses a turn when the ball touches the bottom of the screen. To prevent this from happening, the player has a movable paddle to bounce the ball upward, keeping it in play. The arcade cabinet uses a black and white monitor. However, the monitor has strips of colored cellophane placed over it so that the bricks appear to be in color. No, that's okay. So, yeah. Actually, I'm doing a lot more horribly than I did when I played Alleyway, which was pretty much pretty much like a ripoff of this one. Although it seemed like... Okay, whatever. Breakout, a discrete logic non-microprocessor game, was conceptualized by Nolan Bushnell and Steve Bristow after the latter had rejoined Atari after the merger of Atari subsidiary Key Games. They had an idea to turn Pong into a single-player game where the player would use a ball to deplete a wall of bricks without missing the ball on its rebound. Bushnell was certain the game would be popular, and the two partnered to produce the concept. Al Alcorn was assigned as the project manager and began development with Cyan Engineering in 1976. The same year, Alcorn assigned Steve Jobs to design a prototype. Jobs was offered $750 with an extra $100 each time a chip was eliminated from the prospective design. Jobs promised to complete a prototype within 4 days. Jobs noticed his friend Steve Wozniak, employee of Hewlett-Packard, was capable of producing designs with a smaller number of chips, and invited him to work on the hardware design with the prospect of splitting the $750 wage. Wozniak had no sketches and instead interpreted the game from its description. To save parts, he had a tricky little design difficult to understand for most engineers. Near the end of development, Wozniak considered moving the high score to the screen's top, but Jobs claimed Bushnell wanted it at the bottom. Wozniak was unaware of any truth to his claims. The original deadline was met after Wozniak did not sleep for 4 days straight. In the end, 50 chips were removed from Jobs' original design. This equated a $5,000 bonus, which Jobs kept secret from Wozniak, instead paying him $375. That's pretty asshole, but I don't have enough time for the next paragraph about them both talking about more stuff in the history of Super Breakout, which I was actually not aware that Jobs and Wozniak was behind the conception of the original game of this in 1976, but that is cool to know. And that explains why it was on Mac systems. Anyway, it looks like that's an end. I want to thank you for watching this test run. Check out other videos, and goodbye.